Old dog boxing, motherfucker.
It's awesome. Are you tired of people asking you about Terence yet?
No, look, there's I always say I respect Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter like Errol Spence is.
Yes.
But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence. He did a really good job with the Spence. He did like almost look very easy but I knew Terence Crawford is a great fighter. But you never know in boxing. We'll see. We'll see in the future.
A lot of Bud Crawford fans are in their feelings right now for what Canelo said in this video. And all I could say to that is the truth hurts sometimes, fam. That just is what it is. Bud Crawford really only has that one big name, that one big nemesis on his resume. Because if we're going to say that Canelo ain't fought and beat nobody, right? Then we have to keep that same energy. I hear a lot of people, man, a lot of Canelo detractors, a lot of Canelo haters say that he just cherry picks and he just fights a bunch of bums. He's overrated, hype job. Then if Canelo's resume is full of bums, then what do you call Terence Crawford's resume? Come on, fam. We gotta keep it a stack. We gotta keep that same energy in my IBFP voice. And this is coming from a boxing guy. This is coming from a fan, a boxing fan that has no leg in the race. All right, because I support both guys. I buy Canelo's pay-per-views and I also buy Bud Crawford's pay-per-views. Both of these guys are two of my favorite fighters. So I really don't care who wins. If Crawford wins, that's great. But if Canelo wins, that's also great. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to tear down one fighter just to big up the other. For example, I hear a lot of Bud Crawford fans say that Canelo is not even that good. He's not athletic enough. He's slow. And he only has the weight and size advantage over Crawford. Canelo is a cherry picker and he fights a bunch of bums and Canelo's a hype job. And to those Crawford fans, I would have to say this. If what you're saying is true about Canelo being an overrated cherry picking hype job, then why is Crawford moving up 3 weight divisions to fight him? And only him. Crawford stated that he is not fighting nobody else unless it's Canelo. So again, I'll ask, if Canelo is a bum and a cherry picking hype job, then why is Bud Crawford only interested in fighting Canelo Alvarez? And you could say, well, Terence Crawford is doing it for the money.
Again with the money? Yeah, again with the money.
But you see, if you're going to say that, then you're admitting that this is a money grab by Terence Crawford. And that leads me to my next topic or my next point that I'd like to make is a lot of Terence Crawford fans really don't want this fight. But because Bud fans want to support and ride with their favorite fighter, they're just going along to show support and go along with whatever Terence Crawford has to say or whatever he wants to do. That's why a lot of Bud Crawford fans are coping by tearing down Canelo's skill and abilities and accolades. Meanwhile, trying to big up Terence Crawford's accolades. Again, it's just a whole lot of coping going on for the Bud fans and the Canelo haters. Like, Canelo just has size and power. And they try to, they try to say that Canelo's just a big brute with size and no skill, no IQ. But you have to remember that Canelo is small for his weight division and he still be knocking bigger men down than him. How do you think he does that? With his size? No. He does that with his ring IQ and boxing skills. But what a lot of Bud Crawford fans and Canelo haters are failing to realize is by claiming that Canelo is a hype job and he's a cherry picker and he's slow, he has no footwork, no ring IQ, what you're failing to realize is you're diminishing the win for Bud Crawford. Because if Crawford does win, and if we go by your logic, then Bud Crawford only really beat a hype job, a slow, flat-footed, no skill having, no ring IQ Canelo Alvarez. You guys want to tear down Canelo because you want to trick yourselves in believing that this is going to be a piece of cake for Crawford, but you also want to claim that if Crawford wins, he's the best fighter in his era. Again, how is Crawford the best fighter in his era if he's only beating a overrated hype job in Canelo Alvarez? This shit is crazy out here, fam. And I'm going to give you guys an example of what I'm talking about. I'm going to show you a Canelo hater attempting to cope and give horrible fucking boxing takes because he lets his hatred get the best of him and he becomes emotional like a girl. This nigga gets so emotional. He reminds me of my bitch.
I think Madrimov's a better fighter than Canelo, especially at I think Madrimov's a better fighter than Canelo, especially at I think Madrimov's a better fighter than Canelo, especially at I think Madrimov's a better fighter than Canelo, especially at the Canelo at this point. But he's still two weight classes up. I don't think Canelo's as versatile even as Madrimov, but there's still two weight classes up. He's big, he's strong. So there's still things to worry about with Canelo. But I think Madrimov will have made Crawford think more than Canelo will when it's all said and done. Again, the only thing hanging in the balance here is Canelo too big and strong, where Crawford's better skills, better boxing, better IQ get, eventually undone by a guy who's just too big and is just walking him down. Because one thing Canelo does do well, he holds his ground very well and cuts the ring off very well. Even when you hit him and you're popping him, he doesn't give up ground very much. So therefore, he's keeping that mental stress on you as he's cutting off the ring, which allows him to also get to your body, which there's things to keep in mind, man. Listen, I'd have rather seen Canelo fight the top super middleweights personally. The other option could have been Canelo against like a Jake Paul. I'm thankful that we got Canelo against Crawford instead. So there's pros and cons to it. I think Madrimov's a better fighter than Canelo.
So you see what I mean? Paulie Malignaggi, he used to be a boxer. He used to fight. So I know he knows better than this. But because he hates Canelo with such a passion, the hate makes him throw all of his common sense, all of his logic, all of the sweet science, he throws it right out the window. And he lets his emotions get the best of him. Like a woman. Don't be this guy. Okay, guys? Not good. You know what this new hatred, it's not even new, but you know what this hatred towards Canelo reminds me of? It reminds me of the Floyd Mayweather hate that he would get back in the Mayweather era, where people bought pay-per-views in hopes of watching Floyd Mayweather lose. And once Mayweather beat one opposition, then the crowd or the fans will say, oh, well, you haven't beat this guy or that guy. So, I mean, all this hatred, all this hate for Canelo is a good sign. But that's all I got for this one, guys. Let me know what y'all think down in the comment section. And you already know, once again, this has been your boy, Dog Boxing in the Mouth.